to be the man. You've got to beat the man.
And that goes out to the Miami Dolphins, the New Jersey Jets, and the New England Patriots. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is PZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, here we are. Victory Monday. The regular season is over. Playoffs are about to begin. And your Buffalo Bills are the 2023 AFC East champions for the fourth straight season. That's right. You heard it. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, baby. Running it 4 straight years. But I told you guys from the very beginning of this season, the Buffalo Bills have a goal in mind, and that's the Super Bowl. All these other teams chasing us in the AFC East, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Patriots, they had their goals in mind, right? Their one goal, which was to beat the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East. And I told you guys, we've been there, done that. We're thinking bigger picture. And I still believe that's what we're thinking. Because once again, man, we know we can win the AFC East. We've proven that. We know we're a good regular season team. We know we're a playoff team. Right? So, our vision was always set for a Super Bowl run. Their vision was to dethrone the AFC East champions, and once again, they couldn't get it done. And hey, Miami Dolphin fans,
Better luck next time, loser.
hey, I'm sorry. I understand injuries, really set you back there, but Buffalo Bills had their injuries way early in the season. We had some key guys go down, key guys lost for the season. So we know the feeling. We understand. It sucks. That's part of football. But we also tell you, that this is a long season. The NFL's 18 weeks, man, 17 games. A lot can happen from week 1 to week 18. Teams get hot at a certain point, right? Some teams cool down. Some teams get the injury bug late in the season. And fortunately for the Buffalo Bills, we got healthy at the right time, and we went on this run, 5 straight games to win the AFC East. When all looked gloom, the Buffalo Bills somehow turned it around. They did it before. They did it again. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you when we were 6-6 that, I was feeling, 100% confident that the Buffalo Bills could turn things around. But it only takes some things to happen for things like this to happen. And what was that? Firing of Ken Dorsey. That was the start of it, right? Letting Ken Dorsey go. By the way, that should have happened weeks prior, okay? I give McDermott credit for finally doing that, but I've also felt like if he made that change early on, maybe this wouldn't have been such a close race after all for the AFC East. But hey, can't erase the past. You can only look ahead. It was a good decision after the Bronco game. And by the way, I keep telling you guys, that game was a blessing in disguise, man. That was the spark we needed. That was a home loss on a primetime game, at home. And we lost to the Denver Broncos. And it was embarrassing. And the offense, once again, looked terrible. And, there had to be moves to make, and McDermott made that move, and it lit a torch, right? It lit a flame under this offense, right? They were mad, they were upset, they liked Ken Dorsey. They didn't want to see Ken Dorsey get fired. They blamed themselves. Josh Allen blamed himself. But we needed a change. We needed a new voice in the room. And maybe we needed that fire from the players to understand this shit ain't good, right? Look what happened. We had to fire your buddy. We had to fire Ken Dorsey because you guys aren't getting the job done, right? So get the job done. And we got a new guy and leading the room now. And that's Joe Brady. Then it was the bye week, right? Von Miller situation, Sean McDermott, right? The article, what was a 3-page article? Players rallied around Sean McDermott. And you guys know how I feel about Sean McDermott. I still think there's room for a lot of improvement from Sean McDermott. But I also have to give him his credit. I also got to, say that he's done a really good job considering all of the injuries on defense. Because let's be real, the defense this season, for the most part, is the reason why we're sitting here at AFC East champions at 11-6. That's the truth. Now, did the defense let us down some games? Yes, it did. It cost us some games, no doubt about it. But they won us a lot more than they cost us. And that's without the likes of Matt Milano. That's without Trey White. That's without Daquan Jones pretty much most of the season, right? You got to give credit to Sean McDermott for gathering his guys together, getting the right guys, to fill those shoes of the players that went out, which isn't easy to do. There's some big-time guys there, big key players. And you got to credit Sean McDermott for doing that, guys. And, Dolphin fans were feeling mighty high when the Buffalo Bills were 6-6. A lot of chatter from Dolphin fans. A lot of chatter from national media. And honestly, it was well-deserved. I got to be real with you. It was well-deserved at that point. 6-6, losing the teams we shouldn't lose to. Playing bad football, especially on offense. It wasn't looking good. But once again, I'll go back to what I said. It's a long season. Things change, right? Teams get hot, injuries. A lot of things, happen in the course of an NFL season. And I always tell fans, man, sometimes, man, these fan bases that troll, that talk all this trash, I said, karma's a bitch, man. You're going to come on my channel. You're going to talk trash on Twitter. You got to be real careful with that. It could bite you in the ass. And it bit the Miami Dolphins right in the ass. Let's be real if we're talking Miami Dolphins. They've beaten one team this year over 500. One. And that was the Dallas Cowboys, and they barely beat the Cowboys. If it wasn't for the fumble from the Cowboys in that opening drive, who knows if they go and win that game. They haven't proven anything, okay? We beat the Dolphins twice this year. We told them, we showed them actually what a good defense is all about. You're not going to run 40, 50, 60, 70 points on the Buffalo Bills. It's just not going to happen. And I don't think any team's going to run 40, 50, 60 points on the Buffalo Bills. It's not how this defense is programmed. But either way, guys, it was a really good way to end the season on a high note, going into the playoffs, the number 2 seed. And guys, we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. It's exactly what we wanted. We got 2 home games now, guaranteed in the playoffs. Exactly what we wanted. Like I said, it wasn't a perfect season, but now is the time for guys to step up. Now, we had some key injuries in this game. Gabe Davis looks like he'll probably be out for the rest of the season, or for the playoffs, that is. I feel bad for the guy, but this is, once again, I go back to injuries. This is where players need to step up. And Khalil Shakir, I feel, is the perfect guy to take over that role. He had over 100 yards against the Dolphins. Anytime we've ever gone to Khalil Shakir, since he was a rookie, he's produced. I think he's very underrated. The guy has yards after catch is unbelievable when that guy gets the ball. He doesn't look like he's super fast, but my God, the guy glides, man. He just glides right past people. Guy runs a 4.4. It just doesn't look electric, right? But you see when he's just gliding right past defenders, it's like, whoa. He's smooth, man. Good hands, reliable. Josh Allen is starting to really trust him. So, guys, Khalil Shakir, man, watch out for him moving forward. That was a great, great draft pick from Brandon Beane. I thought Dane Jackson filled in very nice for Rasul Douglas. Let's hope Rasul Douglas, though, can bounce back from that knee injury. He said that he could have went back in, but Dane Jackson went over to him. Matter of fact, let me see if I could pull that up for you guys real quick. I may have that on here. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I do. All right, so let me get to it. So Rasul Douglas was asked about the injury. Let me see if I can find it here, right here. So let me get to it.
If you're not 100, he was like, oh man, he looked me in my eye. He was like, so if you're not 100, he was like, I promise you, I got you. Like, and I was like, you know what? Go ahead, do your thing. You know what I mean? It was just one of those. I got faith in him. I got faith in everybody on our team and in the corner moving. So I was just like, go ahead, bro. And I'd rather him being 100 out there than me not being 100 and being out there causing my team. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean, guys, right there. It tells you Rasul Douglas may be good to go for the playoffs. Let's just hope it's nothing serious. But from what it sounds like, at least from him, it was more about, being cautious. He knew he wasn't at 100 if he would have go back in the game. But back to Dane, I thought Dane came in, filled in nicely. Even the last series, the pass interference, I honestly, guys, it was the right thing to do. It was a smart thing to do. By the way, Tyreek Hill still had an opportunity to catch the ball. He dropped it. But either way, I don't mind the pass interference there, okay? Because if Tyreek Hill catches that, he probably takes it to the house with the speed. He only has one player to beat. I think that was Poyer. Overall, I thought he did a very good job. I thought Christian Benford is getting better and better and better as the season goes on, as the years go on. It's the second season. Man, that was once again another draft pick by Brandon Beane, a late draft pick that is working out really, really well. Deion Dawkins got a really bad laceration on his hand. He'll be fine. He went back in the game. I think he missed a couple series, I think, or a series. He was, they taped him up. He was right back in there. I think he got some stitches in the back, in the locker room. He'll be all right. He'll be good to go. He'll probably just have like a, bandage on his hand, for the playoffs. Who else got hurt? Ty Johnson. Man, Ty Johnson, I got to say the referees, man, sometimes they miss some blatant penalties, man. Let me see if I could pull that up for you guys. It's like, what are you guys seeing out there? It's crazy to me. Let me see if I can, how do I pull that up? Man, I'm trying to get it. There we go. All right. It's right up here. Let me see if I can show you guys the hit. And it's like, bro, once again, referees, man, what are you watching? All right, I don't know if you guys could see that, but look on the initial hit here, the second hit right there. Clearly, helmet to helmet. By the way, Ty Johnson got a concussion from that hit. So I don't know if he'll be available for the Pittsburgh game, which is a big loss. Ty Johnson was actually running very well for us. He was a good complimentary running back to James Cook. And, I don't know how the refs missed something so blatant like that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. There was also a pass interference that they missed. Here's Josh being Josh. On a third down. It was unbelievable. It was just, man, guys, you could say what you want about Josh Allen, but that guy leaves it all on the field, man. He leaves it all on the field. And you got to give him his dues. When the game was on the line, he stepped up. All right, I got 5 takeaways. And once again, shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. So let's get to the takeaways. All right. Oh, my injuries. Yeah, man. Sometimes, man. Unfortunately, the highlighted takeaway for both teams was the injury bug that beat up both teams. Injuries for the Bills included Tyrell Dodson, Deion Dawkins' hand, which he came back, Ty Johnson concussion, which I just talked about, Gabe Davis knee, that's not looking good, guys. It looks probably like he'll miss the playoffs. Rasul Douglas knee, let's just hope, knock on wood, that he'll be back for the Pittsburgh game. And then you got safety Taylor Rapp undisclosed. I think what happened with Rapp, guys, is when he got the interception, he fell on the ball. And I think it knocked the wind out because he got up shortly after and celebrated with his teammates. So he'll be all right. All did not return to the game. Aside from Dawkins, Rapp was injured on the final play. Both sides will have to figure out how to deal with their injuries before the wild card round of the playoffs next weekend. So yeah, that's the injuries. Next up, Josh's mistakes. Quarterback Josh Allen put up more than 350 yards and threw 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins. The Bills had luck on their side. It's really rare that a team wins when your quarterback turns the ball over 3 times. Allen had 2 interceptions and fumbled another time. Allen has to be better than that in the postseason. And I agree. I do agree. Allen he could be reckless a lot, and he has to be better than that. The fumble, listen, Osiris Torrance whiffed. I get it. Pressure's going to be there, but Allen knew the pressure was coming. He tried to get out of he tried to escape the pocket. You got to tuck the ball away. You can't cost your team. And that, listen, by the way, we were driving on that play. So it cost us points, right? Luckily for the defense, they did their job. But, turning the ball over, especially in the red zone, it is a problem. The one to Gabe Davis, the first series, it was more Allen hoping that, Gabe Davis was on the same page as him and just throwing it out there. You can't do that. You can't do that, and especially in big moments, big games like that. It could have cost us. Luckily, it didn't, but it could have. The other interception, once again, I felt like he could have ran there and picked up the 2 yards for a first down and kept the drive going. Instead, he forced it into the end zone once again to Gabe Davis. I mean, I get it. Gabe Davis fell, but even if Gabe Davis doesn't fall there, it's going to be a tough play to make and possibly an interception. It's just a play that you can't make. You got 2 yards there, Josh. He could have got the first down, guys, by running. He chose to do that. He chose to be Superman on that play, to take it into his, into his hands, and it costs us a scoring opportunity. Can't do that. Now let's go back to, let's not forget about the catches, the drop passes. That means James Cook, right before the first half, right in his hands, drop pass, 7 points right off the board, just like that. You can't have that. We still lead the league in drop percentage. This team has to be better at catching the ball. You're costing this team points. James Cook in particular, that's like 3 times now this season that James Cook had potential touchdowns that he just dropped right in the bucket. I mean, he couldn't have handed it to him better. So James Cook has to be better than that. Our receivers have to be better as well. But let's get to the next. Out-battled Tyreek. The Bills defense allowed Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill to put up some decent yards. Hill had 7 catches for 82 yards and did add a touchdown. A solid game. But aside from that, Buffalo's defense held in a huge way, especially considering the turnover issue. The Bills had an early interception by cornerback Christian Benford. Then Buffalo played solid all the way through the game until safety Taylor Rapp iced the win with a second interception. I told you guys before in pregame that I felt like the Buffalo Bills have really done a really good job against Tyreek Hill since he's become a Dolphin. I don't think he's cracked 100 yards in a regular season game versus the Buffalo Bills. They've held him in check for the most part for as best as you can. I mean, he is one of the best receivers in the NFL. One of the fastest, not one, he is the fastest receiver in the NFL, probably the fastest player in the NFL. He's not a tough guard. And I feel like the Buffalo Bills have done a very good job with their scheme, defensive scheme, when it comes to playing Tyreek Hill, going against Tyreek Hill. So you got to give McDermott and the players credit for that as well. So let's get to the next thing. Special teams checks in. At long last, the Bills saw what they wanted out of their special teamers. A huge difference-making play. Deontay Hardy, 96-yard touchdown on a punt return, changed the entire momentum and tied the contest up at 14. What a play at the perfect time. Absolutely. And it was crazy to me, guys, honestly. The 3 guys that were responsible for putting points up against the Dolphins were the 3 guys that that I've been critical of most of the season. Deontay Hardy, who hasn't done much up until this point, right? And maybe that's more of a Buffalo Bills problem. Maybe Ken Dorsey and now Joe Brady haven't really found a way to mix him in the offense. But as far as special teams go, Hardy he really did nothing special, right, all year. He had matter of fact, he had a fumble a few weeks back, right, that almost cost us. So it was refreshing to see, but it was, if you were to tell me going into this game that these three gentlemen would be the reason why the Buffalo Bills win this game, I would say you're losing your mind. So Deontay Hardy, Trent Sherfield, right, of all people, the guy that hasn't done anything all year long, comes up with a great catch, an unbelievable catch, a wild play, a tip ball going out of bounds, high up there, getting 2 feet inbounds, gaining possession all the way through. It was unbelievable. And then Dawson Knox, man, who missed time with an injury, who came back a few weeks back, hasn't really done anything, came up with a big touchdown to take the lead. So those 3 guys, man, if you were to tell me they were the difference makers in this game, I would have never believed you. But that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying going into the playoffs, we need everybody to play their best, to be at their best. That was a big-time game, and players had big-time moments in that game, right? Stepped up in a big way. Guys that haven't stepped up all year, let's be real. And they came through for this team and helped this team achieve what they needed to achieve, which was winning the AFC East, going in as a number 2 seed. And you got to thank those players that finally came through and did their job, stepped up when other players, were struggling. All right, next up. off to the playoffs. The Bills won and are your 2023 AFC East champions. Quite the turnaround from a 6-6 record. Buffalo will host the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card round. Yes, we will, and it was well earned. It was tough. It wasn't pretty, but we got the job done, and we play in Buffalo this Sunday at 1 p.m. Bills Mafia, you better be rocking Highmark Stadium. I want you guys to be as loud as you've ever been. I want those Pittsburgh Steelers, to not hear a damn thing, especially on offense. So we earned this. 1,000% we earned this from everything that's happened this year with all the injuries, with firing our offensive coordinator, and to bounce back and be in this position. Let's not fuck it up now. Let's play the best football we've played, right, all season long. It's time. The time is now. We cannot go into the playoffs with a sluggish offense. Receivers need to step up. I thought Stephon Diggs, by the way, against the Dolphins, he made some really nice catches. Josh Allen actually missed him on a deep ball. That would have been 7. I mean, he ran a great route on Ramsey. Blew right past Ramsey. Got Ramsey skating. And Josh missed him. But Josh got him on the next one. We need that. We need Josh to start connecting on those deep balls as well, because they're there. They are there, and Josh is just either overthrowing or underthrowing. Players also need to help him out by getting separation. Offensive line, they need to do better. They got to pass protect better. Josh Allen also has to be better. Turnovers, can't play sloppy, can't play reckless. There's times where he could step up in the pocket, right? Instead of backpedaling back and holding the ball and throwing it off his back foot. It's very dangerous. It works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. You could see where, the interception in the end zone, he was backpedaling. I'm not saying that there's always an option for him to run in the pocket, right? To step up in the pocket. But there is some occasions, if you go back and look, it's there for him to step up. He just chooses not to. It's because he's holding the ball, waiting for his receivers to get open, to get separation. And they're not. So he needs to do better. He needs to step up when that option is there. Joe Brady, love what he's done, but he also has to be a little better at adjusting, as the game goes on. I thought he did a good job this game in the second half, late in the second half, like halfway through the third quarter, of picking up the blitz, having an answer for the Dolphins blitz. He started getting these quick slants to Dalton Kincaid. And what did that do? That caused the Dolphins to back up a little bit on that blitz, right? Because now we have an answer for it. Now we're getting some yards out of it instead of just doing nothing about it and taking a sack or a turnover. So I credit Joe Brady for finally adjusting to the Dolphins' heavy blitz. We got to run the ball better. I felt like James Cook this game did not run the ball well. Run blocking also plays a part of that. They got to do better. So there's things that we need to do better, for sure, in this playoff run if we want to make it to a Super Bowl. There's no doubt about it. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's just we need to be better is all. But man, I'm super excited. You guys should be super excited. By the way, we do go live tonight at 9:30. You don't want to miss that. We're going to be doing the good, bad, and ugly from the Dolphins game. Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.